for our Disability Awakening, and hopefully some of your senses will be awakened to some disabilities that are not disabilities. The purpose of this awakening is to bring together our community, the awareness of unseen and seen disabilities. You can see a person in a chair, but oftentimes there could be something that's going on mental that you may not know of. So it's time for our society to be aware of the impact our disabilities have on our independence, but to also wake up to the fact that our disabilities do not define our abilities. So wake up to the bathrooms that will not fit our chairs and hinder our privacy. Wake up to the fact that I don't have a behavior problem, but
I have ADHD.
Wake up to the fact that I'm not antisocial or distant. I'm
Depressed.
wake up. I don't like crowds, or I don't keep my back against the wall because I'm particular, but
I suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and I suffer because I serve my country. And when I put my back against the wall, I'm still serving and protecting you to ensure that you don't move too fast and I smack the dickens out of you.
okay. We hope that by the close of this expo, that we have empowered you with the knowledge that seen and unseen disabilities provided with proper resources, education, training and supports, even patience, that those same seen and unseen disabilities can really become capabilities. And that's what we do at Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living. We empower people to do just that. I'm Sandy Dent, and I'm the Executive Director for Southern Maryland Center for Independent Living. And I'll introduce you to my staff in a few minutes because it takes, we only have about 5, but we have a whole village full of resources and vendors and partners in the room. And we thank you all for being here today. So if you could just hit the slide for me, just to give you a little bit about what we do here. We are a SMcil, a Center for Independent Living, and it's under Title VII. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't hear me, sorry. And under Title VII, well, we are government funded, and we have to provide 4 core services. And those 4 core services include individual and systems advocacy. Individual advocacy meaning that if I'm a person and I need, for instance, supports at a court. If I need someone to go with me, I may have a disability, I may need someone to read and help interpret those things for me. Someone of our staff will be able to help you with that process. We have Kim Quaid. Kim, raise your hand. Kim is our person who handles people with the need for Social Security benefits, SSDI. Generally, if Kim helps you and help you provide, get all the paperwork you need, and you take it down to Social Security, generally on the first or second week, Kim will get you your disability benefits. She's really good at that. She has lots of years of service in doing that. Also, systems advocacy. Is Mary Randall in the room yet? She's not here yet? Okay, she's on her way. Mary Randall needed to go to the state parks, and she's very active, being that she's in a chair, but Mary is always out in the community. And there was an instance where Mary needed to go to the restroom. So Mary was very disturbed that when she tried to get her chair into the bathroom, that it wouldn't fit. The doors opened inward instead of outward. So Mary came running almost into the office and said, Sandy, I need some help. I need somebody to help me with this situation. So Kim and Mary sat down, and Kim had Mary put it in her own words what the barrier was. She could not get into the bathroom. They put a writing campaign together, and by the end of the day, where's Christy Bishop? Christy Bishop from Maryland Capital Parks and Planning, by the end of the day, had every bathroom in St. Mary's County turned around so that a person with a chair can get inside the room. That's systems advocacy at its best. The other thing we do is information and referral services. We have a database of probably over 200, 300 resources that we can provide. And we also work with partners, the people from the MAP site. I know I saw Amy. Amy's over in Calvert County, raise your hand. We have a contract with the Maryland State to provide co-location outside of our office. And 1 day per week, Kim goes over to Calvert County and over to Charles County. Beth, I saw you here. Hi, Beth. Bonnie's not here yet. But Kim goes there 1 day per week. And what that does is it extends our services. So we have these little tentacles out in the community where Kim's there, and any consumer, and oftentimes there are problems with transportation, but if she's local, they can get to her at one of the, either the community centers or the MAP sites. So that's what we do with information and referral services. And today, with all of the people that we have here, we'll take your names if you have a company, if you have any other resources, and we put that in our database. We populate those things. And if a person comes to us and needing something, we can pull from our database and do referrals. We do warm referrals. When someone calls our office, we don't just give them a number and say, you know, call this number. What we do is we take the number, we put the person in touch, and we do warm handoffs to make sure that that connection is not broken. We also do peer support, and that is pairing someone who has a disability with another person with a like ability or disability. We do a lot of work with Vesta, with Jude House in Charles County. That's a recovery program. We work with Ruth's Miracle, and some of the ladies are on their way here today. You'll see them. We work with them in terms of trying to help them turn their lives around. A lot of the women have been on drugs for years. We go to the home. We help them learn how to cook, how to clean. We provide other resources. For instance, if they need to look for employment, we'll help them with the employment. We'll come out and, you know, if they need a ride someplace, we'll take them. And we've often been able to help them do some of their fundraisers. We go out and help support them in their activities. And we do independent living skills training. And that's what we do with these proud people over here at this front desk. Independent living skills. And we'll talk a little bit more about them, but we're very proud of the collaboration that we have with the St. Mary's County School System. And independent living skills is we take what skills you have right now and we try to transfer those skills into working skills. So let's say you like cutting grass. So eventually we'll work with you and help you really learn how to cut grass and trim and do some other things. And maybe later on you want to start a business. So then we'll call my friend Dennis Phillips over there. Dennis, raise your hand, from the Department of Rehabilitation Services, and we'll help him we'll talk to him, and oftentimes he'll say, well, maybe that person needs to be referred to the RISE program. So he'll help them get into the program. I think they're still giving up to $15,000, am I correct? To help a person start a business with a disability. So that's a wonderful thing. So we work with any consumer with an intellectual disability, a physical disability, cognitive, mental, and it does not matter what age you are. And did I tell you that our services are free? There's no charge for our services. We also provide independent living, assistive technology. So if you know someone who needs a hospital bed, they may need a cane, they may need a crutch. We do vehicle modifications. All of those things we are funded through a grant through the Department of Rehabilitation Services. So we get an assistive technology grant. And last year what we did, we reached out even further by working with Christmas in April to build ramps for veterans. So that helped us a lot because the funding that we have, which isn't a whole lot, but it's a lot in terms of the way, you know, you have to spend it. But what we were able to do is with the collaboration with Christmas in April, they pledged the labor, we pledged the material, and we were able to do 4 ramps last year. We do employment services, just a little quick here, by helping people with finding employment. Nursing home transition, we go in deep to the nursing facilities in the Tri-County area. We have Charles Calvin and St. Mary's County. Jerry Taylor, raise your hand. Jerry is in and out of every nursing facility in the Tri-County areas. Is Karen Best here, our new person? Karen's not here? Okay. We have another peer. So the two of them are deep into the nursing facilities, trying to educate people who are there, letting them know that you have an option. You don't have to stay in the nursing facility. You have an option. Whatever money you're funded per year, that money goes with you into the community. You can either go home You can go live with someone. You can do what you want to do because you can self-direct those funds. We also have transitional youth services, and that's what Pam Ford is doing in the back there. Pam works with our youth, helping them not only define what they're going to do while in school, but what are you going to do after school? And she in fact handles both nursing and transitional services. Again, I told you about Kim Quaid, who does the Social Security and SSDI benefits counseling, the co-location with the MAPS, and now we're working with the veterans. Mike Moses just walked in the room. 1 second, sir. Mike Moses just walked in the room. He is with Vet Talk, and he's helping to guide us. We found out that there's quite a few homeless veterans in our area. There's a lot of veterans who have no jobs, and a lot of them, believe it or not, don't even realize that they have benefits. So in working with Mr. Moses, he's helped us put together a support network, he and Jerry Taylor, and we had our first meeting. There were 9 people who showed up about a week ago for our first veteran support meeting. And we're very proud of that because we're in a rural area and a lot of people can't get to us. But having the start of something like a veterans network is going to really open up the doors to people on the northern part of the county. So if you know anyone that's a veteran, please steer them towards Jerry or Mr. Moses for our next meeting, which is, I believe, the first Thursday of every month. Okay? We have a glamour closet, and the glamour closet is really helpful for the women with that are looking for positions and trying to go on professional meetings or trying to go on to, here they are coming in now, so I'm speaking of them, the women that are trying to go on interviews. And a lot of times, if you don't have the proper clothing, you really can't sell yourself. You know, you need to really look good. So if you look at that, it looks like it, I don't know how it looks right there, but it looks a lot better in person. But we do have a glamour closet with clothes and boots and scarves and things for women. And we're always taking donations. So if you know of anyone that's interested in sending some donations of some really, you know, we don't want anything that you don't want, but something that's relatively nice for women that are ready to return to work. This Rhonda Crawley just walked in here now, who is one of the women from Ruth's Miracle, who's one of the coordinators there. That's fine. How you doing, Rhonda? Not a problem. Not a problem. I was just telling them about the great work you guys are doing at Ruth's Miracle. The food bank. We have a food bank, and we found that last year and the year before, consumers were calling us because the food banks ran out of food. So if they ran out of food, you know, it's a hardship on the family. So we started taking collections of food. So people were sending us, you know, canned goods, and we were keeping them stored. And we said, well, look, this is a food bank. And someone gave us meat. And then we were getting calls from Lifestyles in Charles County. Anybody here from Lifestyles? I like to do the shout-outs if you're here. We ended up getting all of this food, and we took it over to Lifestyles. And we were able to help families in Charles County as well as in St. Mary's County. We but we've collaborated with Shiloh Community United Methodist Church. Anybody here from the church? Ms. Garrett, you're here from the church. What we did last year to help, which went way far beyond Call of Duty, there was a community of individuals that were living in the woods in La Plata. And if you were brave enough to go down through the woods, you went in, and it was really a city. And so we had a few people from the church who really didn't care, Pam Ford being one of them. And she actually, with a group of us, we took soup and sandwiches into the woods. Of course, we weren't crazy enough to go alone, but we took, with a police escort, we were actually taking soup and sandwiches into the woods to feed people. And taking them brochures to let them know that, you know, there's someone here that can offer you assistance if you need counseling, or there's someone here with the clothing. We take hats and scarves and things like that. So it was a little bit beyond Call of Duty, but those were some of the things that we were doing. We will be working with Safe Nights again this year as well. So again, we were asking for clothing and we're asking for food. So if you find it in your heart and you have anything like that, and you want to drop it off to us, or if you want to tell one of the people here about some donation you want to pledge to us, we appreciate it. I'd like to bring my staff up now before we get going, because they're here to make sure that your day is comfortable. I'll introduce you to everyone. Here's Kim Quaid, Kim Lord, sorry, she's straightening me out as she comes up. She got married recently. Kim is our senior IL specialist and benefits coordinator. We have Georgiana Rovito, and she's our independent living assistive technology specialist. We have Pam Ford over there, who is, again, the transitions manager. We have Andrea Butler. She's handing out things. She's our temporary receptionist. Who else is here? We have Ruth Boshin, who's coming. Oh, there she is. Ruth, come on up here. She slid in the room. And I want them to know who you are, because she's our fiscal person. She makes sure we spend our money wisely, or not spend it wisely. That's Ruth. This is Ruth Boshin. She's the office manager. And Jerry Taylor, come on over so we can see who you are. And I want all of, is there any volunteers here? Pete's a volunteer, Pete. And we have few people, but we do a whole lot with few. And any other employees around? Okay. Andre, where's Andre? I did not introduce her. Okay, give him a hand, please. All right, so we've done my presentation, and I hope you are as excited as I am about Matt. I heard Matt in Ocean City a couple of years ago, and I was just so honored that he was able to come here today to give us his comedic presentation. And I want you to welcome him here. But beforehand, Sue Howard is his life coach. If you could come up and just tell us how you have gotten involved with Matt and how you've coached him along the way. We appreciate it.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you can come. Matt is one of my favorite people in all the world. He knows that I'm his biggest cheerleader. Matt has an unseen disability. Sorry. Matt has an unseen disability of autism. He learned about 5 years ago, that he had Asperger's. And he had received very little services for disabilities all the way through his schooling. Matt graduated from high school, regular mainstream class, went to CCBC, graduated fine, had a little bit of a hiccup at UMBC, and he may be able to tell you a little bit more about that. Took some time off and then went to Towson University. When he went to Towson University, he took a class in comedy, and the rest is history. I get a giggle out of when Matt and I come and do some of these presentations, because Matt does a whole lot better job than I do. He'll keep you laughing, he keeps you engaged, and it's just been incredible to see his growth through the last 4 years that we've been working together. Matt has recently started teaching other autistic adults about comedy. And he's teaching a 10-week program at Towson University. This is his second one. He started the first time in March of this year and totally wowed everybody. I'm not sure if so I don't want to talk a lot right now. He and I will be going over what it's like to do life and career coaching later on in the session. But I want to get him going because he's really what we're all about.
Yeah, How you guys all doing today?